Okay, so I just ordered this Raceseng shift knob, weighted shift knob for my 2015 Mustang GT, and today we're gonna install it, and I'm going to drive around for a little bit and give you guys my thoughts on the new weighted shift knob. Okay, so the first thing, let's take a look at what the box holds. I already opened it, but I wanted to show you all what's inside. So you just have the instruction manual. Comes with this threaded adapter, very nice, and also the shift knob. Now right away you'll notice that this is way heavier than the original. I got the smoke translucent finish, and it's really nice. It's super heavy. It's got a nice translucent gloss. Let me show you in the sunlight there. It's got a nice translucent gloss. It's almost like a gray charcoal color, and you can see it's much bigger, much taller, and way heavier than the original. So I'm just going to place that to the side. Now the first thing you want to do is remove the old shifter. Now I've seen a couple of different ways to do this. The way I'm going to do it is I'm going to lock the car into reverse, and then I'm going to unscrew the original knob. Now it requires a little bit of force, but that's okay. Once it's starting to go, I'm going to place it back into neutral and then unscrew the knob by hand. So there's the original, and there's the Raceseng Slammer. This is a Raceseng Slammer. I believe it weighs about 600 grams. And I believe this one weighs about 100 or 150 grams, somewhere around there. So it's 2-3 times heavier. Sorry, it's not 2-3 times heavier. It's 3 to 4 times heavier than the stock knob. Okay, you can even feel how much of a difference this makes. And we'll see how we go about the install. Now, place that down right here. The threaded adapter comes with 2 pieces. There's a set screw on the top, and then there is the threaded piece on the bottom. Now the threaded piece on the bottom is a 15mm wrench, and then on top is a 4mm Allen key. Okay, so it's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Now, when you install the threaded adapter, Raceseng actually recommends that you use blue Loctite. I'm not going to use blue Loctite because I've already driven around with it for a little bit, and I haven't had it loosen up on me at all. I just tightened it down, and I don't do any track driving or anything like that, so it's been good to me. And I didn't want to put Loctite on it just to make sure that I did like the shift knob and that I wanted it more semi-permanent. So I have this multi-tool here. It's a 15mm socket and a 4mm Allen key. So with the 15mm, just gonna tighten that basically as snug as it's gonna go. And then this set screw on the top, let me see if you can get a look at that. It's not going to sit all the way flush down at the bottom. This is because with the reverse lockout, this is a stock shifter, you need the shift knob to sit a little bit higher than this top flush part here, so that your reverse can actually go all the way and engage. I've contacted Raceseng about this, and that they said that this is actually normal, this little gap right here. Okay, so the way you do this is you're going to tighten the set screw all the way down if you'd like, and then start reversing it out so that your reverse lockout collar works, and so that your engravings are lined up. Okay, if you don't have one that's engraved, it's not as important, but you want your shift knob to line up straight with your shifter. So I'm going to put my set screw there, thread it on, And you can see once it's tight, I go a little bit past, if I just go straight on here, I go a little bit past center. So in order to do that, that means that I have to back out my set screw maybe 5 degrees so that I can get my shift knob on there nice and tight and straight. Okay, so with my 4mm Allen key, I am just going to back it out maybe 5 degrees like that. And it's kind of a guessing game. You kind of have to just play around with it. But I think that's pretty good right there. That's pretty straight. That's about as tight as I can get it. And you have to make sure that it's straight. You have to make sure also, most importantly, that your reverse will still engage, okay? If your reverse doesn't engage, that's not a good sign. And also, you want to make sure that when your reverse engages, it's not making a clicking sound as you shift past first. You want to make sure that that piece there isn't rubbing or clicking on the actual shifter. You want to make sure that it shifts smoothly into reverse. So there's the finished shift knob. It looks really good, as you can see. It's got a nice finish and it kind of matches the interior. Originally I was going to go with the clown nose red or the clown nose blue, but ultimately I thought this smoke finish would provide a good balance. Okay, so let's go take it for a test drive and let's see if there is a big difference with the stock compared to the new weighted Raceseng Slammer. Okay. Now I'm going to try to show you all my shifting as much as I can and not so much on the road. So before we start, reverse works good. I can shift it into every gear. It's not coming loose in my hand. It feels really nice. Yeah, right away you can feel that the weight adds a huge difference. The MT82, as most of you probably know, is not the smoothest transmission. It's pretty clunky. Someone described it really well where they say it's kind of like shifting through mud and rocks through each of your gates. Especially when you go from first to second, it's almost like it clicks twice or 2-3 times sometimes when you shift into gear. Now with this weighted shift knob, it does feel like a lot of that clunkiness goes away. I still feel it a little bit, but let's go see how it drives. Feels pretty good so far, just with the initial shifts here. I'm not gonna go too crazy. I'm just going to shift smoothly, slowly into each gate and just see how it does. But yeah, it feels really good. It almost gets rid of a lot of that slop. You know what? It feels really nice. This shift knob was pretty expensive. I believe I paid about $250 Canadian. When you convert that to American, it's about 170 or so. It's pretty expensive. It's one of the more expensive shift knobs on the market, but right away you can feel that the quality and the build quality, the machining is really well done, and you're paying for what you get what you pay for in this case. I've heard of other good manufacturers like Shiftworks, Shift Solution. I heard those guys make really good shift knobs as well, but this is the one that I thought was the nicest, and this is the one that I've got. So let's take a look here. It does feel like the shifts are very smooth. It takes less effort to shift through each of the gears, and I'm really liking the feel of it so far. Okay, so I'm gonna drive around for a bit and then we'll bring you back and see what my final thoughts are. Okay, welcome back. So I've been driving around with the new shift knob for about 10 minutes now, and like I mentioned before, I've already had the shifter on for a little bit, and I just wanted to give my final thoughts on this Raceseng Slammer weighted shift knob. Now, it is way better than stock. I think the extra 500, 400 grams or whatever it is really does make a difference in allowing the shifts to shift more smoothly and less clunkily, if that's a word. But I will say that it does not totally cure the problem of the MT82. Now, is it worth it? I would say yes, if you are willing to spend that much money on a shift knob in the first place. I would say this Raceseng shift knob is definitely worth it. It's really nice. It looks really good. The feeling and the build quality is really good, and it does help improve the shift quality of this transmission. It feels really good when I shift at low gear, high gear, and it does make the driving experience overall a little better. Now, I do plan on eventually upgrading to a real short shifter, something like the MGW or the Barton Hybrid 3. I've considered sticking with the Barton Hybrid 3 just because I do like the reverse lockout, and because this shift knob has the big bore at the bottom, it would only fit the shifter for the reverse lockouts, which MGW doesn't have right now, but I hear they're both great shifters anyways. So final thoughts are, I really like this Raceseng shift knob. It is expensive, but it does make the feel, it does make the engagement, and it does make the overall look of the car better, in my opinion. This smoke translucent color was a perfect choice, and the install first time only took me about 5 minutes. I was a little concerned with the set screw not sitting flush, but overall very easy mod, and something that is simple enough to do but can drastically improve the feel of the car. So just some final driving shifts here. We're gonna be merging onto the highway. Yeah, for the most part, I don't know if it's my engine just warmed up, but I don't feel any of that clunkiness. Alright, well, I hope you liked the video. I hope you found it helpful. I plan on putting out more content and trying to build this channel up, so if you like what I showed you, or if you want to subscribe, feel free to do so, and thanks for watching.